All right, folks, another massive session coming for you guys tonight. XRP Moon Day unlocked. Is it clickbait? No, I'm going to show you here. If history repeats, we have a date, an interesting moment in time to look at here. And I'm not trying to get anyone too filled up with hopium. I want to be real, and that's why I always keep it real with you guys, letting you guys know when I see that this market's about to roll over, right? We've been shorting Bitcoin the whole way. We only stopped because the liquidity crisis ramped up here in the cryptocurrency space. Full update coming tonight, current events, cryptocurrency, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. It's an absolute blessing. The links are down below. I am coming late with less preparations, so I'm just going to scroll through my bookmarks out of order. So usually, I go through my current events like world stage, political stuff. Then we go into our cryptocurrency. Then we take a look at the charts and then just start ranting and do a little bit of Q&A and have a little bit of fun. But tonight I'm running a little bit late to the party. But I do have the XRP Moon Day unlocked and we have price action underway. I really hope everyone was able to see my emergency warning for the XRP community. That was not clickbait. That was real. Look at what just happened. Flare was at 51 cents, 52 cents, I think is what it reached up to. And these are Flare IOU tokens. Now it's all the way back down to 40 cents here. Just pulled up the chart, getting tapped in here tonight. Down to 40 cents. So we're already getting that price volatility that we warned about. So we are never on the clickbait BS, guys. We want people to be prepared. Not only short-term trading, short-term maneuvers. This thing gets volatile. We expect movements on certain dates during certain moments of time. Certain events are taking place on the world stage that coincide with these events in the moves in the market. And oh, what do you know? You got the moon up there in the sky. And the moon phases seem to have been an interesting pattern that we've watched. Now, let's take a look at the sticks, though, because we were expecting downside action around this full moon. Didn't get it. They were able to come to an agreement, get McCarthy in there as speaker. Congress can continue on with their quote-unquote business, and the market moved back up, reacting well. But we got some more interesting data, key dates coming up this week. And so I've been putting out these warnings, guys, about this thing, and this is what we were talking about it doing, where it does this run up and then it'll flip on over, okay? But we're going to continue to watch that one closely. Now let's take a look here. As I was alluding to, Flare already back down to 39 cents. And so I really hope that everyone got my warning. It was an emergency warning, and look at what happened, and I really hope that people were prepared. Like I said, Flare is supposed to be dropping to us tomorrow. Mine's on Coinbase, probably not going to get it. I'm going to talk with Jimmy and my lawyers that I got on my side of the table and the team, and we're going to figure out what we need to do. Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, shout out. Hope it works out. Centralized exchange, trying to work with regulators. Well, you should work with the XRP community as well. We're going to come into a lot of wealth. We're going to have a lot of money, and I'm sure that you would love to help us out with using an exchange platform like yours. Brian Armstrong, let's get the Songbird tokens released, and let's get the Flare distributed. And then let's relist XRP and carry on with our business, because this is all a show taking place with the SEC and the fraudulent lawsuit that they filed, the fraudulent claims that they've made, and the damages that they've done to our property, this little precious XRP token. And the unfortunate part is that it's held up the whole space. And they allowed actually the token factory, the corrupt parties, the corrupt entities, to build the pyramid scheme that was cryptocurrency up to this point. And now we got Elizabeth. I got a plan for that. We got all the other sellouts of the banks and the corporations serving us in the United States Congress, who are going to come up now with a plan for regulations, sweeping bills coming for cryptocurrency. And it's going to be in regards to stablecoins. And then it's going to be into the on-ramps and the off-ramps is going to be another key point. Major settlement just occurred with Coinbase, $100 million settlement because they weren't doing sufficient enough KYC. They didn't care. They wanted the money. They needed the money. I think the Coinbase makes it out of this thing, but guys, we're in the middle of a liquidity crisis, so anyone is fair game in the cryptocurrency space. Without further ado, so everyone got that clear. Make sure everyone, after this session or as we're talking here tonight, write down, figure out what you're going to do with this Flare strategy. You're going to get 15% tomorrow if your exchange is cooperating. 15% of the tokens that you are eventually going to get total are going to be distributed tomorrow, is my understanding. There's going to be a Flare launch party. I think they're doing a Spaces. Maybe I'll pop in over there, take a look. Deep dive on Flare coming for sure. Excuse me. I've been pissed off and kicking myself because I had my XRP on Coinbase, so I didn't get my Songbird yet, and we'll see if I get my Flare Well, everyone else is getting their songbird rewards. They're getting flare rewards. They're already, delving into the DeFi that's coming within that ecosystem. I'm just over here butthurt and pissed off at myself for what I did, which was keeping my, little bag of XRP on Coinbase. And so that was a mistake. We fixed that. And, as always, I'm going to be honest with you guys about where I'm at, how I'm positioned, and how I'm investing. Now, if and when I do get my flare, and if and when I do get my songbird, I'm not in a position where I need to sell. And for me, I'm not really planning on offloading too much. And it sounds like with the flare program, the more that you keep and hold on to, the more you're going to get. So they're trying to introduce incentives for not dumping your tokens. As we've seen, though, in the case with many of these, on the day of the airdrop, you will see the price dump. That's already began. I hope everyone has been prepared. Without further ado, let's get into our full update. I appreciate all of you guys so much. If you appreciate the updates, if you appreciate the warnings, smash that thumbs up for me. And you guys already know the deal. Everything's at my website down below. Massive update. Let's get it. Right. Let's roll on in here. Take a look here on our Twitter feed. We got 589 in the chat. Shout out 589 in the chat. Absolutely. Tapped in right on time. Here we go. And like I said, I was running late here tonight, so we're just going to roll through my bookmarks. Some of these bookmarks I might not be able to talk about because I'll just bookmark stuff, share it with my Discord, but it's not appropriate for me to talk on these platforms. But let's run right on through, okay? So we have Bitfinex. Fun fact, everyone in crypto is swimming naked, but they try to keep it under wraps. They can't expose others for swimming naked because those people can expose them for being naked. It's one giant poker tournament, and they're all bluffing, hoping new players buy in. So as we were talking about, right, this whole space, middle of a liquidity crisis, we got to stay safe. Bond Crypt, dates to watch out for, if I recall correctly. January 9th, tomorrow, when the deadline to oppose the class motions to seal expires, and a few days later on January 13th, both Ripple and the SEC must file the Dobert motions and related exhibits with redactions on the public docket. Well, we have Jane here reply, and this is from James Phelan right here. January 9th, parties file oppositions to omnibus motions to seal that were filed on December 22nd, 2022. So what's going to get sealed up? What do they oppose getting sealed up, right? January 13th, 2023, and we've already surpassed the date for third parties to file motions to seal. Remember, right? We've already passed the date for third parties to file motions to seal. So now we just have both parties going back and forth here, oppositions, and then we're going to be ready to move on. January 13th, the parties must file the Dobert motions and accompanying exhibits on the public docket with redactions consistent with the court's December 19th, 2022 sealing ruling. We're close, guys. We are very close. January 18th, 2023. All parties and non-parties must file oppositions, if any, to the non-party motions to seal that were due on January 4th, 2023. Right, so the third party, the non-party motions, all these legal terms, all this legal jargon. I wish we weren't in the middle of this legal battle, guys. This legal and political battle. I wish we weren't in the middle of it, but we are. And they attacked the XRP community. To the non-party motions, that's the third-party groups, not Ripple, not the SEC, the motions that they had to seal, they were due on January 4th, which was the date, just past last week. And now we get to see Ripple and the SEC file their oppositions to those motions to seal. So right now, we are literally determining what all is going to get sealed up before they set this thing free, before the settlement is achieved. And I put out a tweet today. I really just think that Charles Gasparino, Charles Hoskinson, both got wind that Ripple versus SEC is about to be settled up. And XRP is about to be the first crypto with clarity in the United States, like with actual proper clarity. And so I think that Charles is just kind of, upset, butthurt that XRP is going to be the first cryptocurrency through the door, and that Ripple's, obviously going to dominate the payment space. They're just going to, take off to a level that has not been seen in the cryptocurrency space yet. For a crypto company, Ripple is about to achieve things that has not been achieved, hasn't even been talked about. It is not even a possibility for 90% of this cryptocurrency space. And then with Charles Gasparino, as we've seen him kind of flip, and now he's getting, and all this XRP drama, right? I think that Charles Gasparino, he's tapped in on the inside and he got the word, and he's now trying to cover up for Bill Hinman, who, in my opinion, in my speculation, my prediction is not going to have any charges filed against him, and that would be William Hinman, who, was doing all sorts of corrupt activity at the SEC, right? And so Bill's going to be fine. Hinman's going to walk. No charges filed against him, even though some of the corruption is going to be exposed. Already has been, right? XRP communities over the target completely, already been exposed. But, I think that Bill Hinman's going to walk. Charles Gasparino has the word, and he's buddy-buddy with these guys. So he's just covering for why, making it look like, Bill Hinman didn't actually commit the serious corruption that he did, right? And that was just part of the SEC. Bill Hinman's just one player at that entity, at that organization that committed corruption, and we need to actually, investigate him. And I'd love to see him prosecuted to the full extent of the law, in the United States court of law, where we used to actually uphold some values and actually get something done. I would love to see that. But, in my understanding of the world stage, how it's going to play out, it looks like to me, settlement's coming. Charles got the word. He's upset. Cardano's still not going to have clarity. And XRP is going to be the first one through the door. Ripple's going to dominate. And then Charles Gasparino just covering up for Wall Street friends and pals. Right? But we're close, guys. I mean, we just went through those dates there. You understand how close we are to this moment. The Flare airdrop today is just picking up this momentum. This massive momentum, and I've always said, be ready for that price to move before the case gets settled. Absolutely. Now let's continue on here, guys. Continue on. Key events this week. Let's take a look. Now, this is from the Kobesi letter. Definitely a follow. They've been tapped in. Key events this week. Number one, banks begin reporting Q4 2022 earnings. 2, Fed Chair Powell speaks on Tuesday. Okay, I didn't know Jerome was going to speak here once again. That's right. I forgot about that. Then we have Fed member Harker speaks on Thursday. December CPI released on Thursday. And 5, consumer sentiment data on Friday. Markets are kicking off 2023 with a ton of excitement. Then his thoughts on the cryptocurrency space. Crypto has gone through 1, 2.5 trillion in value lost in a year. Number 2, the FTX collapse, the biggest case of fraud in history. And to that point, I would say, yeah, but we got some more fraud to investigate. We got a lot to investigate. But FTX, as far as fraud, yes, I mean, it's up there for sure. FTX collapse for sure. 3, multiple crypto lender bankruptcies, absolutely, and they continue to spread. 4, widespread economic recession. And remember, guys, this is really the first recession that crypto, Bitcoin has ever really had to go through. And he says, yet Bitcoin is still trading at 17,000. This market is incredibly resilient. And I'd have to agree. I mean, hats off to the Bitcoin bros for being able to keep this thing afloat. And I still think that they have more downside action. I don't think that the pain is over for them. I've been very adamant and clear about that. But I mean, shout out to the cryptocurrency space for continuing to remain pretty resilient. Even XRP, some of these other suppressed cryptocurrencies holding structure and just still there with a community that is adamant about this new financial system, that the new way of transacting and moving money, and the new way of literally doing every step of business is right here before us. I mean, every way of our life is going to be tapped into this digital economy, this digital distributed ledger technology, and we understand, we call this, the term is fourth industrial revolution, right? Major opportunity that we're getting in here, and we remain resilient amongst all of this. 2.5 trillion lost in value, FTX, multiple crypto lender bankruptcies, the crypto banks, they said, widespread economic recession, and that's going to get worse, and it's continuing. So let's remain vigilant here. And why I say we're continuing lower, even though yet Bitcoin is still trading at 17,000, which we'll see how long that lasts. I don't expect it to last much longer, but I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for the bottom to be in, but we got a lot more in the cryptocurrency space to clean up, in my opinion. Real estate point right here, quick real estate point. So the largest luxury real estate firm in Florida just set an internal price projection for the next year. I've never seen anything from them but bullish. They are calling for a 15% decline in the next year alone. Folks, when the largest luxury real estate firm in a state of Florida that has a very big property market is calling for a 15% decline next year alone, it's an opportunity, right? It's ugly, but it's an opportunity. And we are ready to move on real estate this year. It's going to be massive. But for those who are caught and not ready for this, interesting that we're seeing the banks now. We just recovered covering the Bank of America. One of their experts and economists was putting out 5 to 10% nationwide. But as we continue to say, some of these markets have already been hammered, and they're going to continue to get hammered another 20% next year or more. Right? So let's prepare for that. Interest rates going up. Now we just got to understand how to structure the deals, how to negotiate. And the incentives are starting to show up from the new home builders. I was listening to one of the real estate guys that I listened to out of Florida, and he was talking about how you can get new homes down there in Florida for 350 grand. Now, where I come from in the Pacific Northwest, that's insane. I mean, that's crazy, right? Because the most standard basic new home in my area is going to be 530,000. You know, 500,000 to be conservative. But I mean, really, like, for 2,000 square feet, over 600 for sure, 600 to 700,000. And so I'm just thinking about how this market, this real estate market's been so dynamic, and it got really disrupted over the last 2 years with all the show that was taking place, right? And now that we start to see it getting kind of opened back up, and we see that, United States real estate has actually remained pretty resilient as well, because it's just like people want to hold US dollars. They're moving money here still because they want US property. They want assets denominated in US dollars because their country's currency is losing value, 20% plus. I mean, even some of the countries in Europe were at 10% inflation, right? Some of the worst, like, some of these have just gone bust. I mean, they've already started to reset the currencies in some areas, right? Backed by gold, digital, gold-backed digital currency in Russia from Sberbank, which is the oldest bank within Russia that actually did a partnership with Ripple. Fun fact, of course, Ripple's at the table. Ripple's at every single table that matters, folks. What an incredible opportunity here as we watch this. But bringing it back to real estate, major opportunity. And for those of you that have been on the sidelines or just enjoying your checking your Zestimate, and it goes up every year and it's been fun, and maybe you've used your home equity line of credit, you used your house as a credit card. Now it's time to understand where we're at with our debt. And so I don't have much debt myself. I rent the place that I live in right now, and that's a fine deal. I really don't mind it. And right now, to replace this, to buy my house, my mortgage payment would be upwards of $3,000, 3,500, like $3,000 to 3,500, right? And so the rent that I'm paying is cheaper than that. So it actually makes more sense to rent in my area where I live. Like I said, the average home, the new one, is going to be 600 to 700,000, and it's not a home that I want to move into. I mean, the quality of construction too. That's a whole other topic, right? But for me, I'm looking cash on the sidelines, ready to move. I've already got established relationships with the brokers for real estate, right? And then we got to talk property management strategies. Obviously, I'm already in the business, so we know kind of what is involved in that, right? I'm not a carpenter, but I am a handyman. But I understand that I'm not trying to service any properties that I buy. I'm not really trying to do too big of a fixer-upper because I'm already busy enough within my businesses. So just understanding how I'm going to move to position and buy my family a house. And then after that, we get the real estate portfolio rolling, right? You just build upon that one property after another. And I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for me, I've just been sitting back, watching it and waiting for more pain. Unfortunately, I don't want to see the middle class of America get wiped out and their home values drop another 10, 20%. But that's reality. That's real value. And we have to understand that the amount, the price, the value that's on paper versus the value that's actually there, that's actual physical value, actual real tangible value, actual cash flow businesses, actual assets and commodities and currencies that matter. It is so far out of whack, guys, so far out of whack. And so we do have a ways to go. I'm going to remain to be patient, but I understand if I structure a deal property, I can make a deal work today, right? So that's how I'm moving in serious infrastructure before we want to call ourselves a real estate investor, right? Because I'm not looking to just buy a duplex and then put real estate investor in my bio. That's how these guys are going to get wrecked. These guys don't know what they're doing. They have no experience. They're more interested in making content than running a real business. And that's not just real estate. You guys understand that, right? But now it's all about the real businesses, the real value. What do people need? We'll survive, we'll make it. But we're just 1 year into recession. Think about where we're going to be another year from now if we got a year of standstill within the political theater and a year of raising interest rates further and then leaving them. Here you go, guys. We're going to rug pull the United States economy and then let you guys have fun with interest rates, doubled up, tripled up from where they were. Right? So interesting situation here. For those of us that are prepared, though, going to be some good deals coming online for sure. Now, let's check this out. So back, we have this update coming for you guys. This is from vitzevin. And he is the founder and creator of XRPL Labs. Just to be clear, that is not affiliated with Ripple, but that's going to be your Xumm wallet. They are releasing Xumm Pro beta, can be paid. So they're releasing a beta for Xumm Pro. It's going to be a paid app, I guess. Excuse me. It's going to be a paid pro version. And it's the equivalent of $60 and you can pay it with XRP. Yearly subscription, early subscribers get about 2 years. Time starts when Pro is no longer in beta. You're going to get 2-year subscription if you sign up early. Paying with XRP is definitely the best option, cheap and fast. But for Thorin, Oakenshield, and you, credit card payments are okay. So yeah, they've also ramped up and they've brought in more liquidity to the Xumm wallet with on-ramps and off-ramps in other currencies. And so this is major. You're not going to have to use these exchanges anymore. You're going to have this decentralized wallet here, the Xumm wallet, and you're going to be able to onload your money and buy your XRP right there without having to use an exchange. So that's going to be interesting. This is the pro version. Guys, I'm in no way affiliated with vitzevin XRPL Labs, but I just wanted to put out this for everyone in the XRP army to know what's going on. The normal flow to get Xumm Pro would be open to the Pro section in Xumm and pay with XRP. Looking to pay with credit card, you can do it the other way around. Instead of getting Pro and getting 2 Xumm Tandem cards, you can purchase the 2 Xumm Tandem cards and get Pro. Obviously, credit card payments are more expensive than XRP payments. Credit card fees are insane for the seller. Still rather not parting with your XRP. And then he says, what is in the Xumm Pro? So this is what you get if you sign up for the Pro version. Support XRPL Labs, and he's the founder of this. These are the guys that created the Xumm wallet. And like we said, this is what we love to see. This is not Ripple. This is just decentralized developers on the XRP ledger, building and supporting Xumm wallet in the XRP ecosystem. That's what you're going to be doing, number 1. 2, real-time transaction push notifications for your account. So that might get interesting when you start to get interest, when you start to receive payments, when we actually start to use the XRP ledger more often. Definitely would be nice to have notifications for sure. And then you're going to get 2 Xumm Tandem NFC hardware wallet cards. So you're going to get 2 hardware wallet cards, feature early access, and you're going to get Xumm profiles. More coming. And Arturo Portillo says, help run critical infrastructure. Vitze says that's covered in number 1, helping XRPL Labs, supporting and building Xumm and the ecosystem. Now, I will actually take a look at this. I'd love to support vitzevin and what they're doing over there. As far as the pro, what's included, sounds kind of cool, whatever, but I might just, decide to just check it out for the XRP community, right? $60. It's something that we can do to donate to the cause. Like I said, I'm not affiliated in any way, guys, not affiliated in any way, but I just thought it was interesting because so many of us do like using the Xumm wallet and the XRP toolkit that's built in. It's my favorite wallet for basically moving money around within the XRP ecosystem on the XRP ledger assets. It's all there for you. And now, like I said, they've brought additional liquidity on ramps and off ramps and fiat currencies that we didn't have before. So it's just coming. They're just continuing to build it out. And it's a fantastic wallet and tool for the XRP community for sure. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see where we're at next. Okay, here we go, folks. I mean, this is the situation. This is why we understand how this is going to play out. Ashley Prosper on Twitter. These are statements from ex-SEC employees. Mary Jo White, the SEC is dead wrong. Joseph Hall, I continue to think there is a pretty good chance the SEC will lose on the merits. Joseph Grunfest, the SEC versus Ripple case was a mistake. John Barry, XRP isn't suited for the Howey test. And like this person said, yes, but what does Charles Gasparino think? Yeah, guys. I mean, this thing's ours. This thing's ours for sure. It's coming and we're getting very close. Now, next, I have this one for you. This is an update on the digital currency group Genesis. Knew that FTX official in Alameda was insolvent in late May of 2022. Anybody who has any freaking clue knew this was coming for the cryptocurrency space. I mean, I've been talking about this for 2 years because we were listening to Brad talk about 99% of crypto going away. We were seeing like how all of these crypto projects did their ICOs, the way that they did pump and dumps, all the rug pulls, all that BS. But then a lot of them were just structured and sold and offered as unregistered securities. So we're just like, this is why Jay Clayton and Gary Gensler can boldly, confidently say that all of the ICOs that they've seen are unregistered securities offerings, is because most of them are. These guys didn't go in and file, and they raised funds for something that they hadn't built out yet, right? But in the case of XRP, we have Mary Jo White, Andrew Serezny, two officials who used to work at the SEC representing Ripple in the lawsuit against the SEC. One of the very first things that I covered, 2 years ago on TikTok, it was one of my first videos on XRP that did really good, is I was explaining to everyone, I was like, guys, they have two former SEC officials representing them. How could you possibly think that they are going to lose this case, right? Okay, yeah, this is whatever. We kind of knew that this was taking place. This is from Wall Street Pro. What problem did crypto solve in El Salvador? Remittances were supposed to be the easiest use case, yet with all the government incentives, it has reached only 1.66% of the remittances market. I would just probably, speculate that it's because they're mostly pushing Bitcoin wallets. I don't know if they've given them good access to the other cryptocurrencies that can actually get this done. But I'm gonna have to go take a look, because from my understanding, they were all like pro Bitcoin, and I just don't know how like Bitcoin Maxi they actually set the thing up, if you could actually load up other cryptos, if you could use other cryptos, or if you could only use Bitcoin. But I would speculate that that's why they've only got 1.66% of the remittance market in cryptocurrencies so far. But once again, we know what's coming. Once they stop with Ripple, that's going to be unleashed. We know that they're not going to go after Jed McCaleb. Stellar's just going to light it up across the world. We know that. And so it's coming. It's coming. Now, this is interesting, guys. Circle's most recent attestation report shows 30% of USD's reserves, or 12.79 billion, are invested in its government money market fund. The Circle Reserve Fund, managed by BlackRock, this is up from 0% in October. So I guess they didn't have any money in this. This is managed by BlackRock. I guess they're the custodians. And this is Circle's most recent attestation report, shows 30% of the reserves, or 12.79 billion, are invested in its government money market fund. Okay, and this is something that I've talked about, right, is that we're trying to get away from the US dollar. And Circle, what they've done is they were originally holding treasury notes, right, and then other assets as well. And now they're finally, I think, supposed to be going back to just US like dollars, like straight up reserves. Right now, the market cap is at 43 billion. That's right. So it's been at about 40 billion. Tether's been at about 60 billion. But I mean, guys, the market cap of the space going from 3 trillion to 800 billion, right? And you look, and we have nearly 100 billion in these stable coins. And there's just some interesting things going on with these reserves. And I've long said, that in cryptocurrency, we're moving away from the US dollar reserve currency status. So back it up with something else, right? And I guess, we all are accepting and using the US dollars today. But when they were holding the treasury notes and the T-bills, I was like, hold up. Now you're investing in United States government debt versus just holding the cash on hand, the cash in your reserves. But nonetheless, stablecoin regulation is coming this year, guys, and it's going to be massive. They're going to have to show us what they got, and that's going to be Circle, and that's going to be Tether too. And we'll see who makes it. Now, it's interesting to see, we're starting to get from these Wall Street folks. Morgan Stanley says here, after a chaotic 2022, the rest of the world will outperform U.S. stocks. So once again, they think that the United States real estate market's going to get beat up, and they think that the rest of the world will outperform U.S. stocks. Very interesting. And, from a price to earnings ratio on these stocks, a lot of them have been way out of whack. Okay, I'm not even going to show you guys. Egg prices are skyrocketing. The daily omelet on the carnivore diet is getting expensive from Wall Street Silver. And they show it actually going from $1 all the way up to $5. And we had covered a couple weeks ago that eggs were up 50%. That'd be a 500%, right? 5x on the eggs. It's definitely getting crazy out there, folks. Make sure you're prepared. Now, this situation is developing. U.S. Secretary of State Blinken, U.S. condemns attacks on Brazilian presidency, Congress, and Supreme Court. So there are people that have stormed the National Supreme Court. These are Bolsonaro supporters of the former president. And so there was a transition there. There was a situation there, and it continues to go on going. Now, this one from Charles Gasparino right here. I know there's a lot more uncertainty to come with DCG Genesis, but if Cramer is saying sell all of your crypto, we could be at or near the bottom. This is a serious statement, by the way. And this is just from Jim Cramer recently. He said, I predict another weak year for crypto. Well, right as, Jim Cramer went bullish, right, last year, he started to go bullish. Oh, I can see, some of these having something going on, right? Right as it gets ready to dump and roll over, right? And now he's telling us that we're going to have another weak year in cryptocurrency. And I just continue to say, price is a distraction. A lot of people are too focused on price without understanding the underlying infrastructure that's being built regardless of today's price. So, and I'm specifically talking about XRP and some of these other real utility cryptocurrencies and projects that have not stopped adoption, partnerships, and continued growth and development and grants and funds back into the ecosystem during a bear market recession. And in the case of Ripple XRP, in the middle of an SEC lawsuit where they've had to shell out $100 million. So, like we've been saying here, weak for who, right? All these crypto guys in the space, altcoin daily. Are we ever going to recover, man? And that's that's the general consensus and vibe out there in crypto spaces. Man, it's rough out here. And rough for who? Rough for you guys, right? And for the average person, I understand, myself included, it does suck to see our investment portfolio go down 50%, go down 75%, get absolutely slaughtered like mine has been. Guilty. Definitely, right? That's tough. But we continue, and what did we do? We took advantage of that opportunity to double down on our positions. So that's what I did. I doubled up my size of my bag last year, just slowly dollar cost averaging, nothing crazy, like just steady accumulation, right? And then continued to wait for this moment here, this bottom that's been coming in. And so, like John Deaton says here, we got this uncertainty right now with Digital Currency Group and Genesis. And those two alone could bring Bitcoin back down, below like 15, below 14 easily, probably. I mean, this is where we approach 10K Bitcoin. In my opinion, there is still more pain to come. I wish it wasn't the case, but we got to clean out this space. And groups like this, Digital Currency Group that controls most of the space, them going bust and having issues is going to bring a lot of pain. Like we're going to move for sure. So like I had alluded to earlier, just like that, Russia's Sberbank tokenizes gold as digital assets. I had talked about this a few months ago. Sberbank, oldest bank in Russia, and they actually did a pilot with Ripple back in 2018. And that pilot, they did say did go pretty successful, right? So, now they got the tokenized gold on the distributed ledger technology. I don't know which blockchain they actually chose. Let me take a look and see if we can figure out what blockchain they chose. But this is what we've been waiting for. It just happens to be one of the first is Russia. Obviously, we have some other projects underway as well. So on December 26th, Sberbank announced that it had issued its first tokenized gold on the Sber blockchain. Okay, so they created their own centralized exchange, of course, right? Let's take a look here. The state-owned Russia bank received a license for digital financial assets in March of 2022 and launched its first digital asset in July based on factored invoices. And remember, guys, this is what I've been talking about. Russia banned cryptocurrency trading and ownership, right? And then they give Sberbank, the oldest bank in Russia, it's a state-owned Russian bank, of course. You know how they do deals over there, right? You got to get along with the party in charge, right? Sberbank launching the first tokenized gold on the Sber blockchain. While this is the Sber's first metals token, Relistxrp issued tokenized palladium back in July of 2022. Okay? To date, the Central Bank of Russia has licensed just 3 firms to issue DFAs, which cover tokenized stocks, commodities, commercial paper, and financial instruments, but not cryptocurrencies. Apart from Sber and Atomize, startup Lighthouse had issued tokens based on factored invoices. Okay, so it's coming. They are moving. And this is what we've been waiting for this whole time, right? Is moving real commodities, real assets, real value, and all these different things. I mean, as they alluded to right here, tokenized stocks, commodities, commercial paper, and financial instruments, right? You're talking real estate, you're talking everything, all sorts of value. The whole internet of value getting ready to be tokenized. Russia and some of these other countries just happen to be leading the way. Absolutely. Now this one, major. Take a look. TJ Peter Voss. World Economic Forum says crypto will go mainstream, but IMF predicts 2023 recession. So yeah, I mean, we think that we're already in a recession, in my opinion, but now it'll be politically correct. You know, they'll have someone to blame or something to blame, and it'll be just fine because we got good job numbers, right? But we're still going to be technically in a recession that the IMF is predicting for 2023, and the World Economic Forum says that crypto will go mainstream. This one, I was reading this article earlier, guys. Major. It said that traditional banks are key to maturing the industry as the IMF predicts a noteworthy 2023 recession. The World Economic Forum blamed crypto's meltdown on the indecision of lawmakers. Yeah, they always got an excuse. Right. And then they say right here, in a report published on January 2nd, 2022, the global body said that the involvement of traditional banks like JP Morgan with crypto will mature the asset class into responsible, always-on internet finance. How about that? I've never heard that term before. Responsible, always on internet finance. I like that. World Economic Forum predicts institutions will establish crypto in the mainstream. Like we've been saying, you and me, Joe Blow Schmo, we're moving our little money around, ain't going to give us the generational meme life that we want. We need the institutions. World Economic Forum confirming just what we're been talking about here. And we know that they got their parties. We know that they got their investments in this new world financial system. That is for sure. World Economic Forum slammed regulators for not acting decisively to prevent the 2022 meltdowns that caused the crypto winter, comparing the winter with the dot-com bubble crash. The World Economic Forum conceded that crypto's bear market helped root out speculation and placed the industry on a sure footing with established institutional players. While not endowed with decision-making authority, the World Economic Forum wields significant influence on the policymakers, politicians, and business leaders who converge on its annual event in Davos, Switzerland. And I believe that they are supposed to be meeting, back in person for the WEF. And so, yeah, I'm glad that they're finally admitting what we knew all along, and we know and we understand where they've invested and how they would like to see this new financial system and this new digital distributed ledger technology implemented and used for tracking, control, and a new lifestyle that I wish not to participate in. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, Mark Spiegel here, Quoth the Raven, sharing this one. Markets have considerably more downside in 2023, and Tesla can fall another 90%, according to Mark Spiegel. Markets have considerably more downside. Now, this one was major. I definitely wanted to show you guys this one right here. Commodities are king. Check it out, folks. 2022 asset class returns. Total returns in US dollars. 16.1% for commodities. 1.5% on your cash. Global high yield down 12.7%. US fixed income down 13%. DM equity, domestic market equity, down 14%. US large cap down 18.1%. And EM equity 19.7%. And US small cap down 20.4%. And how did the real estate market do? The REITs, the institutional REITs down 25%. 25% here from the REITs. This is according to Bloomberg. Major. Like we said, we got our precious metals link on down below. If you guys are looking to make that move, it is right there for you. Get in touch with my people. They will help you move over that 401k retirement account to precious metals. Arizona's Maricopa County to investigate election day printer issues. There is still interesting things taking place, going on, and being investigated. And the Republicans coming into power too. They got their plans. They're talking their talk, and they're talking tough. Byron Daniels today said that they're going to impeach Joe Biden. That's going to be interesting to see. We'll see how far they go. We still have some interesting things going on, and definitely we're going to be continuing to watch this. Major, this one too, guys. Here we go. Silver. We've been talking about it. We've been stacking it up. I picked up some more this weekend right here. Just continuing to stack. Got the 10-ounce bars, 1-ounce buffalo heads, physical on hand, My people will deliver it to you as well, $5,000 minimum, so it's got to be a big bag, but they'll send it your way. And if you got the 401k retirement account, they'll slide it on over for you. Hey, the numbers speak for themselves. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm just reporting the data and showing the charts. Take a look at these returns for yourselves. Wall Street silver. Silver has underperformed gold. Massive opportunity, massive discrepancy between the paper market and the real market, the real asset, the tangible asset and commodity here. A similar divergence opened up in 2009. Then silver took off like a rocket ship to close the gap. We have a similar divergence now. Will silver play catch up again? Silver miners will outperform even more. Like I said, guys, not financial advice. Let's take a look here, though. Gold and silver overlaid. Let's take a look at this chart. So you can see the divergence back then. Major move. Silver all the way from okay, that's gold. Okay, that's gold. $400. Oh, sorry. I'm reading this chart wrong. I see they got gold over here. You see where we're at, though. You see where we're at? 23. I mean, we talked about this. This is a 100% move in silver potential for sure. Easily. And now we have predictions now for gold coming in over 3,000. But you can see this divergence that's taking place now and what took place back in the great financial crisis. Same thing happened. And then look at what silver, I mean, golly, that looks like the XRP price chart from back in the day when we finally actually had a bull run for XRP. Right? That silver chart went crazy catching up to gold. Divergence back in 09 right there, and we got the divergence now. I mean, and it's major, guys. When I pulled up my silver chart, you guys see where it goes. Even just a 100% move, right? Upwards of $50. And what we're seeing right now is just that derivatives market is what is keeping silver more suppressed than gold. Get my moon phase off there. Massive upside. Same thing taking place in gold, actually. Massive. Even just 3,000 per ounce is a 64% move. Massive. Okay, guys? Okay, now, what you've been all waiting for. The XRP moon date. Let's get straight to it, okay? This is major, and I'm just throwing this out there. This is another man's work. E.g. Reg Crypto here on Twitter shared this one with us. And I've been checking out his technical analysis, and this is actually being confirmed with other people that are experts on technical analysis as well. So he seems to have found an interesting pattern, an indicator, something to look at here for the XRP moon date unlock. Let's take a look here. Huge shout out to E.g. Reg Crypto. XRP Saturday, 1st of July, 2023 is the moon date. There you have it, folks. The sun shining in July. We are going to reach that, that moon date here, he says. History shows that XRP took 27 bars from December 2014 highs to a 2017 bull run. If we apply the same elapsed time and same rationale to the current price action, then 27 bars from April 2021 will lead us to January 7th, 2023, the moon date. Okay, so I was bad. Right. Bars will lead us to January 7th, the moon date. Okay. Am I confused? Okay, let me pull this up. I'm confused. What is the official moon date here from E.g. Reg Crypto here? It is July of this year. Yeah. And it's just this descending wedge here, this descending triangle here is just ready to absolutely rip. Absolutely rip and back up to the upside. And then the chart that we had shown from him the other day showed us if we match up with this crazy fractal, he called it, and we're able to hold the last line, XRP is going to move upwards of like $2, like $2.50 is kind of the target and area that it had going. But many people, if you pull the Fibonacci extensions, and I've always kind of, been in a similar line of thinking, that the initial move and breakout would eventually take us up to and finish off the initial first pump when we do breakout would take us upwards of $7. Many people pulling the fibs pull up around that $7-8 range, and then you go up from there to like $13 for XRP on initial pump and breakout. I just put out a video titled, "Are you ready for $5 XRP?" Because I was, just throwing it out there. I want people to be ready because not everyone's going to be able to hold this asset forever. Some people have found themselves in unfortunate situations and they need money now. And I get it. I have sympathy for it. And I don't hate on people that say that they're going to sell some XRP at $10 when they've stacked 100,000 XRP for years, and, they can sell, a portion of their bag and still have a fat bag. I'm not going to beat them up, right? I a long time have told you guys my plan. First sell target for me is around $10, and then the next one would be around $20, and that allows me to pull out initial, that allows me to pull out a little bit more, and allows me to diversify into some other asset classes as well, because I went full degen investing in XRP and cryptocurrency for years, right? So just balancing back out my investment portfolio, taking my initial investment out, I think is just kind of the smart thing to do. And I've been able to double the size of my bag over the last year. So now the 5% of my bag that I planned on selling at around $10 is a lot bigger, right? And I'll have a lot more extra and left over. So that's how I've positioned and been doing this bear market over the last year. It's been XRP, it's been XLM, and I finally just went in back on XDC, stopped at my silver dealer just 2 days ago. I'm going to be going back there with some more cash. And that's the thing, is cash on the sideline right now, because in the middle of this liquidity crisis, cryptocurrency, we definitely expect more pain. And we're talking, 10% for real estate across the board, right? 20% for the high flying markets, they're going to get beat up worse. We're talking about, stocks going down another 20% or more. Some people think that some of these stocks actually could go down 50% or more. I mean, some people really think that the stocks have a long ways to go. Cryptocurrency still has another 50% that it could do too. But remember how quick and violently this thing moves. Now, we started out this episode, and I was telling you guys, and I was talking about this morning, here we have it, folks. Just during this live stream, Flare has dropped from 40 cents all the way down to 33 cents just in the hour that I've been live. We're at 47 minutes here on the live stream. We were at 40 cents when I started this rant out. Now here we are at 33 cents. So Flare is dumping, just like I had warned about this morning and in some of my previous live streams as well. And with the Discord group, we've been talking about this and warning about this. And we've been maneuvering these airdrops in my Discord community. Now we see one of the biggest ones in the XRP community coming. I tried to put out that public warning and let everyone know this thing's about to shake up. It can move XRP as well. What is XRP trading at? We haven't even looked at the cryptocurrency prices. We know Bitcoin's above 17. It's at 17.2. Okay, 1,300 for our Ethereum, and XRP still really just at 35 cents. Hasn't made too big of a move quite yet, but XRP definitely ready to move upwards of 40 cents. Short-term predictions coming out for 40 cent XRP could easily be done. Let's take a look here though. XRP on the daily chart. Let's take a look. XRP on the daily chart. Here we go. You see, we got some levels here to take a look at. 46 cents brings us, that 45 cent level gets interesting. And then obviously 50 cents was another level there. Yeah, of course. So right now, XRP back up, Bitcoin back up, on the last few days here. On the last few days on this daily chart, we've had upward movement. Still nothing that's getting me exciting, and I just try to get out the warning to everyone to understand that Flare airdrop's coming. Typically, these things will dump on the day of, or after they pump leading up to, and this is how we've done it in the past with my solo. I sold off all of my solo right before the airdrop, and I missed out on getting more solo airdrop to me, but I was able to 3x my bag and dump it all into XRP. So we played it perfectly with solo, And it ended up not even being worth that much, the solo that we received and what's, happened with Sologenic since, right? So we played that one well. And I wanted to warn everyone, guys, that I'm just a little player. I'm just a little player in the game. But these market maker magician whales will come in and sacrifice us after they set us up. They give us the platter right before they come in and stab us around the back. I mean, they just wipe us out. They get us all excited. And obviously the Moon Boys, the Shillers, and the guys that are really just putting out hopium on a daily basis, they continue to pump and be the pawns of those market maker magicians. So, Jim Cramer is kind of the old world shill. And now here on the much lower level, you got these little guys here now on YouTube and TikTok who, even if they don't knowingly understand what they're doing, some of them probably understand what they're doing and don't actually believe in what they're selling and pushing. But, you guys have seen that these guys just continue to say, they were telling us Bitcoin was going to 200,000 last bull run, right? They're telling us that the bottom has been achieved this whole last year. And we've been right here, and we've guys just been continuing to say, guys, from a fundamental perspective, we haven't cleaned house yet, right? We have not cleaned house yet in this space. And so, guys, we're watching this in real time. Flare just dropped down 33 cents, that is 32 cents. It's continuing to dump in real time. Let me pull it up and show you guys right here. And this one, I'm finding this one on Live Coin Watch. Once the tokens get actually released to the holders, right? Get released to the people, we're really going to find liquidity. And those market makers and whales are going to come in and dump on us hard, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. Now, there's some people that might suggest, well, there could be a run up on the day of because people are going to try to start buying it. Yeah, but I think there's going to be much more selling pressure to outweigh any people that are trying to get in on this project. Remember, we're tapped out. The American people, the people of the world are going through a global recession, right? Whether the mainstream media will recognize it or not, most people are tapped out. And personally, if I had to put my money anywhere right now, it would not be Flare. I would not be buying. Now, once again, that's because I already should be receiving some Flare. Don't know if Coinbase is actually going to do that for us, but hopefully they do end up getting their act together and we get that Flare, right? But for me, any additional funds, like even if I missed out on the airdrop, I would not be trying to get in on this thing right now. I would, though, if you do believe in Flare, and this is what you do. I've always said this. If you do want to get in on some of these projects, wait for the liquidity to get all dumped out, cleaned out, and then you can find a bottom relatively, right after that initial drop. So we should find the bottom. Sologenic and some of these other tokens that got released within the last year, they unfortunately timed their drop release during a bear market and a cryptocurrency liquidity crisis. So, they're still finding new bottoms, right? But you guys get my point is that, wait for these things to clean out. These moments, these airdrops, they bring a lot of volatility. And a lot of people want us to give up our XRP. Now, don't get it twisted, though. I believe that Flare is going to be massive. I do believe that Flare is going to be massive. But in the meantime, whatever you were calculating, you were busting out your calculator and trying to figure out how rich you were going to get from this airdrop, you better readjust it and go back to your calculator because Flare is now dumping back down to 32 cents. Something that we warned about, right? We wanted everyone to be prepared. I put out the emergency warning today. I hope that you guys saw it. At this time, let's take some Q&A. Let's run it up. What are you guys working with? And let's see here. Did I have anything else that I did need to share with you guys? I apologize that I didn't have the stream completely lined up here tonight. I was running late, so I was just scrolling through my bookmarks. China reopens their border in a final farewell to the policies, so that's interesting to see. Iraqi Supreme Court issues arrest warrant for former President Donald Trump. Yeah, for you guys that didn't hear about that one, Trump actually has an arrest warrant issued now by the Iraqi Supreme Court. China reported an increase in its gold reserves for a second straight month. Folks, hold on. Okay, let's get it. Q&A session. Second straight month that they're reporting an increase in their reserves. And you guys are seeing what's happening in these other central banks, these other countries. Record amounts. And nothing just feels better than just stacking this up, guys. I just love it. I love the shine. I love how you can touch it. It's good stuff. And then you combine that with the new world. It's the same thing that I do with my business. See, my original business is an old world business: property service, landscape, lawn care, 20 different verticals within that, 20 different services within that two main verticals: lawn care, landscape, and over 20 different property service offerings. And that's an old world business, right? And now here, media business, cryptocurrency, education, this is a new world business, right? So I do both. Same thing with my investments: stacking precious metals, degenerate into crypto. You already know the deal. What are you guys working with? Thank you. Massive session here in group with us. We have 960 with us in the chat. That's massive. YouTube, thank you. If you guys could do me a favor, smash that thumbs up. Let's see if we can run it up 1,000. You honestly think the XRP will go up? Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I see that we got a scammer, an impersonator in my TikTok, of course. Zach Rector 77 with 2 R's and misspelled name. Yeah. Hopefully we can get that guy blocked and out of here and into the scammer that's watching this stream. I'm not even going to say it. It's inappropriate what I wish would happen to you. Man, these scammers are getting good. Be careful out there. I'm not going to DM you. I'm not going to, if you message me on Twitter, shoot me an email at my website, I'll get in touch with you. But I'm not messaging you. We're not going to trade for you. We're not doing any of that. I've been hearing a lot about XRP. Yeah, definitely want to learn about XRP. It's going to be a key part of the new financial system. If you're new here, definitely get tapped in. Why does Trump have an arrest warrant from the Iraqis? It was from some of the airstrikes that he issued. Basically, it's for murder. Some of the assassinations that he ordered in Iraq is what I believe that they charged him with. So they have an arrest warrant out. You got to dig deep for it. Zach, last video, I'm never selling XRP, XLM, XDC. I'm going to be staking, or I'm going to be a bank. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same thing. I'm not selling 90% of my XRP. I plan on staking, leveraging, lending, DeFiing, banking. Yeah, being my own bank. Love it. Using it for utility within my business. Absolutely. NFT project on the XRP ledger. You already know that that's going to be coming. It's just a matter of time. It's going to be massive too, with real utility. No BS, no pictures of penguins. Should I get involved with XDC or just keep buying XRP? I can't give you financial advice. I've had to dip into a little bit of both because they all turn me on. They all get me going and they all get me excited, and they're all solving trillion-dollar problems. So XRP is my number 1, XLM is my number 2, XDC is my number 3. But that's not financial advice, and you shouldn't copy me, and you should take a look at all these projects and see what turns you on. Which is interesting to see in Iraq that they did that. That's something I'm watching. Can't speak on it too much. It's probably a little sensitive of a topic. But yeah, I mean, they issued an arrest warrant, Iraqi Supreme Court. There's more on that. I know I'm well overdue for a Rumble session. I'm well aware. Do I have dinar? No, I don't have any Iraqi currency dinar. No, I don't have any of the foreign currencies. I just have, you guys already know what I got. I have not gone and bought any dinar yet. No, none of them. A lot of people in my Discord group have, though. They're always talking about their Xumm, their this, their that, their, We know the truth. Absolutely. I know you guys are tapped in. God bless you all in the chat here tonight. Only the real ones are tapped in here on this channel. No BS, no clickbait, no sponsorships, no promotions, no agenda. I just want my American people to win and lead the way. And I think that the rest of the world deserves a similar opportunity as well. I'm pro-humanity, pro-freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And may God help us as we defeat this evil. And I just ask God, I say, God, please just give me another 10 years. You give me, and that gives me time. 10 years gives me time. But I just ask God for 10 more years. And you already know. It's generational wealth that we're going to be able to build and pass on to our family. And that's all we need. I'd love to live longer, but I just ask God for another decade and we're going to be good to go. The biggest transfer of wealth in world history. And I was thinking about this before I started this episode, a little observation on my life, understanding and, my success and what I've been able to achieve. I didn't start really moving until I started my own self-education 10 years ago. I was listening to some new people on TikTok talking about doing deep dives. And, they're talking about, oh, deep dives are so fun and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've been doing these for 10 years. Like a lot of us in the community have been doing deep dives and research for a decade, right? And it's ramped up and been more visible over the past, obviously the last 2 years brought a lot of new people that kind of woke up. But for me, I realized looking back at my life and my path, when I started to read and listen to what I wanted to, not what the school was telling me, that's when I started to fail at school. Well, I didn't really fail. I never had a failure, but I started to do bad and poorly in school. But I started to grow my thinking, my self-education, my mentors, the people that we surrounded ourselves with. And it took me, a decade here. From basically 2012, I started to wake up with Ron Paul speaking about the Federal Reserve. And I started to really understand politics and this and that. And that laid the groundwork for becoming a real entrepreneur. And then that's when I launched my business in 2015. First business, been around for 8 years, brings us to today, where we've been running a media business in 2 years. And so it's all come forward, but it all started when I got committed and when I dropped out of their program, their indoctrination. I always ask the question, how's your program working out? And for many people, they never left that way of thinking. It was hand-fed to them. They did well. They succeeded at school. And then they moved into a cozy, comfortable job. And they haven't continued to grow. Even the people that are, good people trying hard, still getting their 401ks wiped out right now. And I believe that this is coming from a lack of understanding of investments and money in the common population here that is just relying on their financial advisor to move their 401k. And they read a statement maybe at the end of the year, maybe every quarter. They definitely don't check their monthly statements. And, it was going up. It was good times. It was fun. It was working out. And you're seeing it all fall apart here. And so even for those that are late, or, you just woke up 2 years ago, or you're just now coming into cryptocurrency, I thought that I was late getting into crypto back in 2017, 2018, right? Started going all in and woke up to XRP in late 2018, 2019. Like 2019 is when I started just going all in XRP. But for me, it all started back in 2012 when I started reading what I was interested in, right? The education that I wanted for myself, not what was being forced on me. And so I think right now we have all of the tools available. It's just up to the person to actually take action. And then the second part of that is I've showed up every day. I have seen incredible success in my life when I have started showing up every single day and I don't take any days off. Now, on Sundays, do I rest a little bit more and, maybe sleep in? I can't really sleep in with my daughter. She doesn't let me sleep in. But every day we show up. Every day we get and conduct business every single day. And that's the simple program for me, is learning how to learn, learning how to teach yourself, right? And then you go find the best at it, the best at the game, the best understanding, the best teachers. And that's going to be my mentors. Have continually grown and grown. I started with, I started with 4-hour work week and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right back in 2015 when I first started listening to podcasts when I was working my job. And, then I started my business while I still had my job, worked at my job for a year. Then I left on my own, took that leap of faith, 2016, into my business. Then we've done that deal now for 8 years, grown into a very successful cash flowing business, and it's recession proof and it's just continued to grow. Now, over the last 2 years, we stepped into the media realm, making content, trying to teach others, and we've seen incredible success in that as well. But I just think about, what am I going to do? What are these people doing? All these people that are complaining in my comments, all the trolls, all the haters, their kids and grandchildren are going to ask them, what did you do during this time? Grandpappy, what did you do during the greatest transfer of wealth in world history? And my mentor, Dan Pena, would say that you sat there with your thumb up your butt, right? In a much more vulgar way. But that's what a lot of these haters, trolls, and these people that just aren't caught up to speed. And regardless, like I said, XRP communities found some drama recently. Forget about it. Doesn't matter. Egos are really showing. Egos are really showing. Remain humble. Build a real business. And yeah, we're all trying to make content and we're all trying to get views. But can you back up the clickbait? Can you back up the titles? When I put XRP moon date in the title, I'm going to show you the XRP moon date based off the historical fractals and technical analysis. And it's not financial advice. And golly, we're in a staged lawsuit that we've been waiting 2 years for this thing to break out. When it does, are you prepared? Which is why I take my conversation from $50,000 buyback one day. Next day, we talk about $5 XRP. What the hell are you going to do? Because most people aren't going to make it to the end, guys. A lot of people aren't going to make it to the end. And the haters of the buyback and those offended by 50K ain't going to make it either. We're not going to be able to save everyone. But golly, grow up and get something done. Have a real conversation about solving the debt and the currency crisis. Understand the ramifications of being $30 trillion in debt, over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, and all of your quote-unquote friends like Saudi Arabia and all the other countries that you used to do dealings in with US dollars are dumping your dollars and dumping your treasuries, and they no longer care to store your reserve currency on their balance sheet. They're dumping it. They're getting rid of it. And then the damage is done by a corrupt SEC, a corrupt third-party agency that isn't even constitutional. Let's get something done. We had a constitution. We stood for something. I'm just an American in this fight. Do I think, do I care, do I want a $50,000 buyback? I'm going to create generational wealth with or without a buyback. Do not get it twisted. With or without XRP, the program's already set in stone. God willing, I get another decade, it's done. XRP, if we're 10% right, life-changing opportunity. If we're somewhat right, guys, I mean, golly, you already know. It's trillion-dollar problems on a daily basis. Year after year after year, quadrillions of settlement on a yearly basis. And some of these people can't wrap their minds around that. Some of these people have a failing program, but yet they want to criticize and attack without coming and pulling up to the conversation and actually being responsible and presenting their facts and logic and evidence without personal attacks, without trying to discredit, cancel. I put out the tweet today. Maybe I shouldn't say, but this is how I feel. How am I supposed to reason with someone that's bragged and talked about and thinks that everyone should have gone along with the program and taken the sauce? I can't reason with that person. Maybe they've realized their mistake, misjudgment, and I feel bad for those that did misjudge, misunderstand, and followed. I'm saying too much. I better stop. I'll just stop right there. I can't reason with those people. I mean, how's your program working out? Golly, may God be with you. I just said to those people, good luck, God bless. But those same people still got a diaper on, literally, are trying to tell us that we're ridiculous for talking about getting something done in our country, solving a debt and a currency crisis, and actually bringing back payment and solving the damages that were done by the SEC. Whether that's the fraud in the inducement, potentially there. Whether that's the Songbird tokens by Coinbase, that's the Article 12 take free rule. It's about understanding our rights as digital asset investors. It's about getting something done here in the United States. It's not about 50K. You guys are tapped in. You guys understand. You guys are right there with me, and I appreciate you guys so much. If we are going to help the economy, I really support gold backs. The gold back, the commodity backed assets are coming for sure. And it's going to be major. And it's actually, I'm looking for real stability. So whether that's just holding physical metals, whether that's eventually, investing in a gold backed currency or a silver backed currency, or there's just going to be so much more opportunity. One thing I'm looking at too is like just traditional markets as well. Once you become an accredited investor and you can do pre-IPO. As a fellow business owner, how can we implement this into our business? Well, there's many ways. How many XRP wallets are American held? I don't know that. Dark Horse. That's a good question. I know that there's about 200,000 wallets with about 10,000 to 100,000 XRP. John Dolan, 20 spot. Zach, have you ever gone over the DCG portfolio yet? Looks like they had flare coming to them. Ouch. The digital currency group, they had a lot of assets. They dumped XRP and they removed XRP. But yeah, at the time, they probably should have been able to participate in the snapshot for Flare, because at that time, they still had XRP on their balance sheet, I believe. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But the digital currency group, yeah, I will maybe have to look into that further. John, it's just I have not gone deep on digital currency group on what all they own yet, right? But they own a major part of this space. And I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you, John. Yeah, I think that they're going to be hurting if they don't have their XRP, right? Because when this thing breaks out, guys, it's going to move in a major way. Bro, you got scammers pretending to be you on TikTok. I got scammers, guys, on every platform, every day, nonstop. I got my team working on it. I got, just a handful of people working around the clock to block these people and report these people. I cannot physically get to all of them. And these platforms don't really help you out too much either. So just be careful out there and understand that I am hanging out with my family or working on my business. I am not asking to trade for you. I am not asking to do anything like that. You can reach out to me at my website or you can DM me on Twitter and you'll be able to tell it's me. I don't use Telegram really, and I don't use WhatsApp ever. I'll never use WhatsApp. What's the private ledger? The private ledger is prepared to be used by central banks and other companies and enterprises will be able to have private ledgers for their data, for their balances that they want hidden from the public ledger. So it's going to be a great asset to have for the XRP ecosystem, those private ledgers. Now, basically, this is a product that Ripple is building out, right? So this isn't, I don't see anybody else that's building private ledgers on the XRP ledger. It's just Ripple. So, they're building that for their banks and financial institutions that don't want to show everything to the public ledger. Zach, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. They all want to be just like Zach. Yeah, I don't try to compete. I don't watch any of these guys. I watch these guys if they share my clips and, I watch some of these guys once in a while. But for the most part, like I said, I don't really watch the other crypto guys. I'm watching real estate guys. I'm watching guys that understand other assets. My economist, Peter Schiff, Jim Rickards. I watch Robert Kiyosaki from time to time, even though he's kind of just an old guy ranting now, and he's made so much damn money that he's always just ranting now. It's funny, but huge shout out to Robert Kiyosaki, OG. I just basically pay respect to Robert and listen to some of his stuff. His guests are fire, but he's always just ranting over his guests. Zach, can you still buy XLM on Coinbase? Yes. Will you be having another Patreon sale? Nick, I have left the Patreon discount has been left for annual memberships. You can get a 16% discount. I love the deep dive research of Dark Horse. Yes, Dark Horse is doing some research. People are doing some research. They're talking. People are talking. There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of people talking, if you know what I mean. It's interesting to see. Do I still trust TikTok? No, I don't, but it's just whatever at this point. Kiyosaki Bitcoin endorsed. I think he's just he's ignorant on crypto, but he's got some people on staff that are helping him buy crypto. And so I'm sure that he owns altcoins on his, ledger or however he's storing his crypto. I'm sure that he has some other cryptos on his balance sheet, but it's just easy for him. He's like a noob in crypto. So he's just one of those guys that like just always throws out Bitcoin. That's like all of crypto is just Bitcoin. That's kind of where Robert's at. Gerald Salente. Yeah. I love Gerald Salente. But guys, like I said, for me, it was all about figuring out who to listen to and what books to read. And I lost interest in school because I just wasn't interested in all that BS, physics, math. Once math got past like basic mental math, basic equations into trigonometry and all that crazy stuff, that was not for me. I couldn't understood why it mattered. And my brain's kind of stupid in regards to that type of thinking. I'm really dumb when it comes to that. And I kind of lean into that. Like, let other people do that for me. I got other things that I can be doing that I'm much better at. But as far as in school there, that's where it started for me back in 2012 because I graduated in 2013. So it's been like, almost 10 years now. yeah, basically 10 years now since I've been out of high school, right? And it's like, what the hell have you accomplished? And I look around, and it's interesting because I feel like I've not really done too much, but we're in a much better spot than we could be if we had been sitting back, if we had stayed lazy, if I had kept my same habits, same routine, listened to the same people, hang out with the same people. But it started with Ron Paul with the Fed, and then I just moved from there, and I started to wake up, and I started to see all these, and really going down. And it's interesting, the conspiracies actually helped me, right, within my businesses, within my investments, within my understanding, and actually making money. I use my understanding of the conspiracies of these entities, of these groups, but they're still launching attacks against us, like the XRP community in this lawsuit. They're still attacking us. But understanding, from the top down of that pyramid, all the players, all the entities, enough that you understand how to navigate, understand what their next move is. That for me is where it took it. And then in 2015, that's when I started to go hardcore business and investing. Right. And so that continues today. Even today, I still am listening all day long. Any chance I get, I'm listening to news. I listen to some music once in a while with my daughter and the family and whatnot, but mostly just listening to economists, experts in other asset classes, business folks. And I always try to lead you guys in the right direction with the people that I share here on Twitter with you guys. Exactly. School is there to teach you how to get a job, get up in the morning, work all day, rinse, repeat. And that's why I've launched my business development program. It's rolling out slower than I wish I could roll it out, but I'm just going to continue to build, and I'm going to continue to build content in regards to actually starting and running and growing your business. I've included it within the Discord membership. Right now, I've only dropped 3 webinars so far, but I'm going to continue to put those out. And I think it's so important because during this time, it's one way that you can take control of your life. Even if you don't start a side hustle, start a business, but if you just think that way and have that business mindset at your job, it's going to take you to a whole new level of success within your current workplace. You will bring a whole new level of value to your company, and you get an opportunity to force your boss to recognize it. Right? Americans haven't gotten a raise in a while, right? Well, right now, we start to get into control because more and more people just aren't working, aren't participating, even though we just covered they're reporting the most amount of Americans are working in history, right? But we still have all these Americans on the sideline that aren't even trying to work and never will. And then we understand with the UBI programs rolling out, they're building a class that is just dependent on the government, right? But for those of you who actually, participate in bringing value to the world and moving humanity forward, God bless you. Thank you for actually getting something done. We can figure out how to bring more value, and then we can, basically require that raise that we want. Inflation's at 10%. We're going to bring enough value that we're going to be able to get a raise that's equal to that or more. Or as I've been talking about too, there's just so many opportunities because for those of you, you're working a job, your boss is probably on his way out and doesn't have an exit strategy, right? Instead of starting a business, take over for your boss. First off, at your job, figure out how you can become a manager. The more responsibilities, the more that you're doing, the more value you're going to bring, the more that they can pay you. Second thing, figure out if you can do sales or ways that you can actually bring in more revenue for the company. That's going to help you get more money, right? And then you also could potentially, if you're working a place, you're working the trades, you're working at a small mom and pop shop that still remains there on the main street in the God bless United States, right? They don't have an exit strategy. They are willing to help you learn the business. They are willing to basically float the loan. They're willing to do seller finance. They're willing to have you put no money down. That is your way into owning a business. There's so many opportunities. Now, a lot of people are watching, and everyone in the days of the internet, YouTube and the TikTok and the BS and the flexing and the Rolls Royce and the private jet and the bottles and the models and I'm a cool guy. A lot of people just aren't thinking at the real situations that people can take advantage of that actually, can be way less risky with just as much opportunity and upside. and the ability to try something and not lose. You might try it, you might not like it, maybe it's not for me, but at least you're not going to take a fat L, you're not going to get wiped out and liquidated clean. Ron Partain, XRP, it's an honor to be in this fight with you, Zach, in preserving liberty and financial stability for our country. You bring an intelligent, intellectual, and professional presence and are a fantastic ambassador for the XRP community. Ron Partain, God bless you, my good friend. And let's do a session here soon, Ron. Let's do a session here soon, Ron. God bless you. Yeah, we'll do a Rumble session and we'll get a little bit wild with it. Ron, God bless you, brother. Cheers. Longtime friend, Ron Partain. He also makes some content as well. Okay. Yeah. And so, guys, everyone my age and you know, the flavor of the day is to be the cool kid entrepreneur, to flex. Hashtag entrepreneur. Hashtag boss bitch. We got to build generational wealth and keep our heads down, remain humble, and stay focused and locked in. Because they're coming to wipe us out. This isn't a game. This isn't flex on the gram life anymore. If you haven't figured it out, we're 1 year into a recession. I think a lot of people have been brought. Now, many of you guys, my audience is older. I don't really skew too young for the kids that I'm kind of talking about here, right? But for a lot of people, you guys have been around, you guys have that similar experience and, you know, nothing was handed to you. You worked for it. And it's funny, I got some comments that recently came. And, you know, people are trying to guess what kind of trades I'm in. They see me making my videos in my trucks and they see my tool bags. And I got people that say that my tool bags are just a prop. And then I got people that are wondering what trades I'm in. And then I got other haters that are like, why are you on the buyback committee if you got tools in your bag and you're just a blue collar guy? And like I said, that's called diversity in income. Everybody wants to talk about diversity and they own 30 freaking cryptos that are worth nothing. Well, what about owning two businesses, one old world and one new world? How about that? I can make it through no matter what the economy, no matter what the recession, no matter what they define it as. We're not participating in it. We're not going anywhere. And we have valuable services that people need in both. People still need their property service. They might not be able to put in a $50,000 landscape, but they still need maintenance. They still need something done. Emergencies still pop up. We still have bad weather, right? People need education when it comes to cryptocurrency, current events, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. They need that. So that's what I provide in my media business that people need. People don't need hopium, BS, the next NFT to show them. They need to figure out how to really survive and thrive during this time. And that's understanding all of the asset classes. Aunt Lynn Online 20 spot. You guys are making it rain with the 20s tonight. Thank you guys. Aunt Lynn Online 20. Zach, I've been stacking metals and now XRP since I was 20. What do you think the price of silver would be if it wasn't so suppressed? Education is everything, young people. Thanks for all you're doing, Zach. Aunt Lynn Online, great question. The targets that I see short term is an easy 50 to 100%, right? So upwards of moving like upwards of $50, right? Long-term price predictions for silver, though, are easily $100. Easily over the next transition. Basically, here's where we're at, guys. Let's be clear, because I don't like. We're in a drug out timeline, right? They've extended this timeline out. They've shaken it up. They got more events planned for us. But let's just understand events and currency reset and revaluation. Right now, silver can still move, and it can still move up to $30, $30, $40, $50, and that would be a fantastic move, right? But the post revaluation price, what I'm hearing is 3 digits plus. So short term, we could see this thing start to break out, and some people might speculate, and I kind of think maybe too, that silver and precious metals, gold, won't break out until the revaluation, right? Same thing with XRP and the suppressed assets. They didn't catch the bull run last year. They only went, XRP only went up to $2, didn't catch the bull run, which sucks, right? As we're holding these assets, gold actually held its own. It was up, basically like 0.2% last year. So it actually maintained its value. But after the post, revaluation, what I'm hearing is 3 digits plus. I have not done a deep dive on silver, on the market manipulation, the derivatives, and how they've been able to keep it suppressed and what prices we could break out to. That's probably something that I should do here very soon. I showed you 2 charts here in this episode here tonight, though, on the discrepancies between silver and gold, and they're just way out of whack, way out of whack. And silver just went on a rampage during the last great financial crisis in 08-09 to catch back up to gold. And so we could see a major move in silver, in my opinion. And even just up to $50 from this level would be about 100% returns. But I don't think that that's the long-term price after post revaluation. So I hope that makes it clear, right? So like we're in a funky timeline. XRP didn't make a bull run, right? XLM, all these suppressed assets, silver, gold. But then look at what's happening with these precious metals against other currencies. So against the digital pound, the Japanese yen. I mean, these are other currencies that are actually used within the IMF special drawing rights as quote unquote reserve currencies. Gold is back to all-time highs against those currencies. It's just, I continue to say and reiterate, the United States dollar has been the cleanest shirt in the closet while the whole world is on fire. People are still flying back to the US dollar. It's the last safe currency until all these other currencies get reset. These other currencies are getting devalued faster by these other governments. They're reaching crisis faster in those countries. Energy, right? Political battles, you're seeing it. In Brazil, we have a situation. In many of these other countries, they've ran out of gas, right? They're running out of oil. Now these countries are starting to withhold their commodities, like Nigeria here. They're looking to go to gold back apparently in January. That announcement could be made. We're going to be watching that one. But Zimbabwe is actually holding back their lithium, and they're actually going to be backing their dollar by gold. Yeah. So it's backing gold-backed dollar, and then they're withholding precious commodities like lithium. And I don't know what they're doing, if they're just going to hold for a while and jack up the price because they're one of the world's largest producers of lithium, or what their plan is with that, if they're just going to start selling it only in. And this is what many of these countries are doing, like Russia. They had to do it to get around sanctions, but now these other countries are doing it because they're done with the dollar. They're done with the SWIFT system. They're done with the sanctions from the United States and the Western hegemony. They want to see collapse. They want to see the Western powers collapse, and they want to bring back an opportunity, and they want to bring back sound currency to their people. And I think that they deserve that. They have that right to do that. And the Western influence has not treated these people well, and I'm worried that there's a influence out east, country that starts with a C, that's looking to move in and jump on that opportunity. And I don't think that they're going to treat them so well either, because a lot of the deals that they structure with them, they are favored heavily in that country, that power in the East, but these countries have that ability, just like, holding back the lithium. Russia's put out their demands that they're only accepting rubles or gold for their gas and oil, right? So this is the moves that are being made on the chessboard here in the United States. We're just kind of watching this thing go down, and we've kind of maintained, we've been in denial about this recession over the last year. We, met the definition, the technical definition of a recession, but because it wasn't politically correct and we might offend someone and, someone might cry, we're not going to call it a recession, right? And you can call yourself whatever you want it to be, right? Call the market, call the economy, whatever you want it to be, but just don't call it a recession. And the people that are not tapped into this conversation, that are not tapped in and, stacking it, reserve currencies, the new financial system that actually are going to hold value, they're going to get left behind. And that's the middle class of America that's about to see their real estate drop this year. It's going to be a tough year for real estate, right? And then the 401ks, they were in denial about the 15-20% that their 401k got smacked this year. Oh boy, and their financial advisor said, just hang in there, right? Right? I've these guys, they just hang in there. It'll come back. This is America, right? But what was that? Morgan Stanley? I think one of these banks, I think Morgan Stanley was saying that the rest of the world is about to outperform United States stocks. So even Wall Street's acknowledging here, and this is what Peter Schiff and many others have been saying for a long time, is that these other foreign markets are going to outperform the stocks of these companies in other countries. These foreign stocks are going to outperform United States domestic stocks here that are way overpriced, way overvalued, right? So this is an interesting opportunity for the guys that have been wrong for years, but they were just early. That's Peter Schiff. That's the XRP community. I know Peter doesn't like crypto, right? And he's always trolling the Bitcoin community, but he understands that distributed ledger technology is ready to tokenize gold and other assets, and it will be used. He's finally caught up to that. And that's good to see, right? And he understands, and he's been wrong. The XRP community's been wrong, right? Price hasn't moved. We're stupid, according to the rest of the cryptocurrency space, for holding our XRP until we're not. And then it melt faces. Then we melt faces, right? And then we're at the yacht party and you're not invited. I'm just kidding. I don't, I hope everyone can make it. The Bitcoin maxis, though, Ethereum maxis, they're kind of weirdos to me. I don't know. I don't know if we want them on the boat. Zach's drinks control the stream time. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Can't believe we already went for an hour and a half. We still got 900 in the house, 100 with us on TikTok. That's 1,000 in the chat. God bless you all. And actually, I plan on keeping it rolling for a little bit longer. I'm with the yacht party. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun when we can eventually. We were talking in our Discord group of just how we're excited to, basically we can form private equity groups. We can invest together, and we're looking at opportunities to actually give back once this is all said and done. Once the games are all over, right? The plan is to be able to provide for our families. And I relatively want to live a simple life. I'm not looking for anything crazy. I really just want a nice ranch to raise my family on, nice farm, nice garden, and be able to live comfortably and be able to homeschool my children, be able to bring in, even better teachers for our children or tutors, get them around some of the best and most successful people and have the best opportunities, right? And live in peace. That's really all I want. But then we will be focused on, continuing to bring value to the world, because I'll be building and growing businesses forever. But hopefully here at some point, down the road, 10 years down the road or more, once we've really made it, we'll be positioned to start. The charity work is going to be incredible. And just talking about that with our Discord group, we're all kind of in the same mindset vibration of, we want to just lift up others, not only just like within our closed off group, right? But just the outreach that we're going to be able to have in some of these other countries and some of these not so well off situations, even within America. There's just so much to do, so much to fix, so much opportunity and solutions that are needed. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that, right? And so it's going to be a blessing for sure. So it's basically, I'm investing and trying to do everything that they don't want us to do, right? I still eat some red meat. I love me a nice fat steak. We're looking at potentially homeschooling for the first bit, private schooling eventually maybe. So we do that. We run our own business, and we, just continue to bring value to our community every single day. And then, there's other things that the agenda wanted us to do that we don't partake in, and we never will partake in, and that's just not for us. We're not going to do that, and that's part of why I've worked so hard in my businesses to get to this point, is having that freedom, that ability to not have a boss, to not have to follow the rules. I mean, and it's not that I'm trying to do anything crazy. It's just these people want to restrict everything that we do in our lives. Every single aspect of our lives, they're trying to influence, even though they live a completely different life, right? They live a completely different life. But for us, it's peasant life. Not for me. Not for you guys. That's not going to work for us. Bull market started. Okay, let's get the update on Flare. 27 cents, guys. Oh boy, and people thought that I was clickbaiting with my emergency warning this morning. Flare down to 27 cents. We started this stream an hour and a half ago. Flare was at 40 cents. 27 cents, guys. It's already just getting smacked. Oh man, this is not good, guys. Not good, but to be expected. We did call it perfectly. 27 cents for our Flare. Rest of the market, though, let's take a look. XRP. Sorry, I've been zoomed out on the daily chart, guys. I've been way zoomed out here in this stream. Let's zoom in on our 15-minute chart and take a look. Okay, so XRP, it's climbed all the way up to about 35.5 cents, back down to 35.2 at the time of this recording. And it's basically 8 minutes to 9 p.m. on the West Coast. That's 9 p.m. on the West Coast, midnight on the East Coast of the great country here in America as we watch this thing unfold. Wow. So they actually have sent this thing up pretty well over the last few days here. We've had green candles the last few days, making it all the way up to 35 cents for our XRP. Let's take a look at Bitcoin once again. Bitcoin breaking out here, 17,200. But then take a look at this, flare down to 26 cents, guys. This thing's just been steady dumping while we've been on stream. Steady dumping. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. I do appreciate everyone. The links are down below for the website. Get in touch with us. Send us an email and let us know how we can help you guys out. I really appreciate everyone within this community. On the way out, please, can we do me a favor? Smash that thumbs up for me, okay? And let's share this message far and wide. We got a lot more content coming this week for you guys. Continue to stay tapped in. The greatest transfer of wealth in world history is your opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. Get in touch, okay? God bless. Thank you.